I am a champion.
I am a champion.
Let's go. So good morning. Good morning. Adam Gugino, what's present for you, brother, on this thankful Thursday?
I am thankful for the team, the leaders, leading leaders, and the building, growing, and scaling of our heart-centered, growth-minded, just best team I've ever been on in my entire life.
That's saying something. So authentic gratitude. Forgive me for being out of breath. I was going completely nuts during I Am a Champion, getting myself ready to go in full state and power. So where are you in terms of your teaching on gratitude, Adam? So if you had 30 seconds to teach authentic gratitude and its magical power, what would you say to this group?
I would say that if you are not experiencing and sharing gratitude, then there is, what else is it all about? Living in the moment, constantly being thankful and grateful for what you are creating in that moment is absolutely priceless. And there's no price tag to put on the feeling of understanding what is happening in that moment, that day, just being grateful for waking up and looking at your hands and just being aware of all the things that you have and not focused on the things that you don't have.
Unbelievable. Love you, brother. By the way, is my camera on or not on?
It is not on.
Either way, not on right now. Oh, Chaz, can you?
I got you, Sean. Just lit you up.
Got you. Okay, thanks, bud. Okay, so super grateful for you, Chaz, and for being there all the time, and for being like, hey, Chaz, can you do whatever, and remotely control things. So thank you, brother, in a huge way.
It's an
Adam,
honor.
yeah, thank you. And Adam and Fernando, I am grateful for your willingness to subjugate your financial interests in favor of everything we're doing in this movement. We have been adding teammates, adding payroll, adding salary, and reinvesting like crazy. And the person that Adam Gugino is the guy that in his prior world, going from 3 to 750 million, before sacrificing teammates, Adam was willing to sacrifice his own salary. And in this world we're in right now of constant reinvestment, constant growth, the building of this ecosystem of Unblinded, this engine that is standing for something called leaders causing leaders to cause leaders, for 1 + 1 equals to merge ecosystems, for 1 + 1 equals a trillion relationships to make the world an even greater place. The level of sacrifice of money, time, and energy of Fernando, of Adam, of Tink, Nicole, of so many of you that are here, of people like Andres and Jason Sipple, Diana, Gina, Lorelei, Richard, Kate, Joe, like, it's extraordinary. So thank you. And my gratitude for you is fully present. And I couldn't be more appreciative of all the things that we're doing here to build all of this. So Adam, Fernando, on behalf of that entire group of people, let me say thank you to both of you.
Without you, possible. Thank you, Sean. Well received, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for leading the charge. And I will certainly be remiss not to share much gratitude for, what you just said about Adam. His leadership is incredible. I find myself at night thinking, modeling, thinking of how he acts, how he moves, and just dissecting and processing, his incredible patience, his incredible heart, his ability to make decisions, urgently and patiently all at the same time. It is remarkable. And I know that we all view Sean as this incredible leader. And, he is a lot more forward facing than Adam. I model Adam as much as I model Sean. when it comes to true learning of leadership. So I am privileged and humbled to be standing on the shoulders of the both of you. And I am not confused on where I am.
Yeah. Much gratitude, brother. Much gratitude. I also want to thank and acknowledge Vivian Guzman, whose name we don't say enough here. And the sacrifices, the investment, what Vivian does every day in the Real Raw is extraordinary. And Belverita, the sacrifices, the involvement, the engagement every single day on the Real Raw is extraordinary. So thank you, guys and team. And let's talk about authentic gratitude and acknowledgement and its power, because knowing something and hearing something. Fran, I love your quote about repetition and wisdom. Not the Tony Robbins quote of repetition is the mother of skill, but the quote you have about wisdom and repetition. What is that one, Frando?
Yes, thank you. And it is not my quote. I wish I could honor source. It is, ego says, I've heard that before, and wisdom says, thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, awesome. So ego says, I've heard that before. Wisdom says, thank you for reminding me. We don't know if there's one takeaway from this morning's huddle, aside from the magical power of gratitude, authentic gratitude, it is that we don't know that which we do not do. We do not know that which we do not do. We only know that which we do. Right? Knowledge is not, Tony Robbins would say this, knowledge is not power. Many people have said this, knowledge is potential power. The actualization of what we would intellectually know demonstrates true and actual knowing. So the extent to which anything that we're talking about is not being actualized, then we really don't know it. So the outcome to actualize from this morning is the power of gratitude. So this morning, any fine folks want to come up and share something you're grateful for, but wouldn't seem like you should be grateful for it. So not, the beautiful things we've shared, like I am grateful that I am blind. My preference is that it changes, and I am grateful. It prevented me from going on to play professional baseball. By great likelihood, I would not have made it to the major leagues. I probably would have played in the minor leagues only, and I probably would have spent somewhere between 3 and 5 years of my life there. And very possibly, I never would have went to law school. And if I didn't go to law school, I would never have read Tony Robbins' The Awaken the Giant Within, most likely. Maybe at a later date in a later situation, but it would not have caused the quitting of my job. So the beginnings of my visual impairment led directly to the experiment of quitting my job and starting a law firm. And if I wasn't blind, I don't know that some of the doorways and the situations and the moments that have opened over the last 3 years would have opened the same way. In fact, I would bet initially they would not have, which would have altered the timing of dozens of things that lead to us being here right now. So my gratitude for my blindness, how my now our 2020 vision videos were received. If I could see, I don't believe they would have been received the same way. And all of those things lead to us being here together today. And my blindness, my grandfather's blindness, instilled in me a level of empathy that I am very confident would not have been there. A desire to champion the underdog, a desire to be an underdog, to do the impossible, a desire to not be in a room full of attempting to feel significant, but a desire to find those in the room to unlock potential, who are hungry, who wanted something. Without my grandfather's blindness and mine, I don't think that ever happens. So therefore, I am immensely, authentically grateful for this dreaded, horrific disease that causes massive pain and loss in my life on a daily basis. And I am grateful for it and look forward to the day it's gone and I can see again. And I will. So, like that, what's something in your life, your world, that you're grateful for? Who got in the chat, or anybody wants to come up from the internal team? Adam, Fernando, anybody raising their hand? Anybody want to come up? Chaz, Adam, Fernando, let's control optics, and let's bring somebody up.
We got Ruth Carmazon, Joseph Varghese, and Carla Fleming. Ruth and Joseph are unmuted, so Ruth, let's kick it to you.
Sean, thank you for such a beautiful share, and the optics on, interesting word choice, but the gift of losing sight and just opening that up, and it's really sometimes hard to see that. But one thing I am really grateful for is having had a motorcycle accident. And that just sounds really weird, but I was going through the toughest time of my life, which was a divorce from a man who just was emotionally, mentally, spiritually abusive. And that's sometimes the hardest because there's no visuals, no bruising, but my heart was really damaged. And I was riding with a group of guys. We were on our way to go rock climbing. I was in Tennessee, so I wasn't in my home turf. And I wiped out going around a mountain curve. And the opening of my heart that occurred through the process of landing in a first responder's yard, the guys gathering around me, staying with me while in the hospital, and throughout the journey of my recovery, they added humor, they added caring, and the biggest thing that they added was my ability to melt the ice around my heart and understand that just because one man is hurt and incapable doesn't mean that all men show up that way. And it has just really afforded me the ability to not just melt my heart, but be open to finding new and what's important in that for me. But unfortunately, I'm an experiential learner, and so I treat people who have pain for a living. And I was able to step into a place of pain that I didn't really understand. And I've treated people who've had motor vehicle accidents and motorcycle accidents, and I can come from an entirely different perspective within that. And the one word that I carried with me that is not part of my vocabulary ordinarily was patience. Patience in the healing process, not just through my divorce, but in my body, where I was an extreme athlete. I was so frustrated. I broke my arm, I injured the right side of my body, and the rest of my body wanted to go for a walk because I just came off being a competitive rock climber, and my arm wanted to stay home. And it was just shocking when I would look in the mirror. And I downloaded songs, every song I could find that had the word patience in them. So in that way, I laughed at myself. So it interjected humor along the way and humility. So thank you for this opportunity to make that really present for myself and understand the gift with something that could have been tragic.
Thank you, Ruth. Present to your heart, your power, your acceleration. And in all the moments we face the frustrations of anything that's going on in our business, it's nothing in comparison to what you did there. Whenever we face our fear of rejection, fear of failure that sneaks up on us, it's nothing in comparison to what you did there. And it's certainly nothing in comparison to facing blindness and all the things people are facing here. So we're just speaking into all of us have massive challenges, massive pains. And the things to create the money, time, and magic we want are so much more simple than these things, number one. And number two, our ability to have gratitude for them in the future is always present. But let's bring that future to now. Like, let's bring that future looking back. Oh my goodness, thank God this happened. And at the time, it seemed so horrible. I couldn't believe what was occurring. I was in so much pain. But it all worked together for good. That's what we're talking about. So thank you, Ruth.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Let's go, Joseph.
Sean, I am grateful for the immense opportunity of being born in this country, growing up in this country, of opportunity. My parents are from South India, and hearing and seeing the levels of poverty they went through, and then not having to deal with it myself, then being able to have access to be able to pivot and be resourceful is something I'm grateful for. Going through high school, I had fainting spells. I was on the track team, fencing team. I didn't know what was causing fainting spells. Fast forward 1996, my mom is getting a heart transplant, and the doctors, her transplant doctor, diagnoses me with the same condition she has. And realizing that what caused those fainting spells, those issues I had, was this enlarged heart I had. And then having the resourcefulness in life, finances to be able to focus on that, right? And work on releasing that and loving on family. It's just mind blowing. And I no longer have the heart condition. My mom's still alive, 25 years now, since 1996, since a transplant. And I get to do what I enjoy doing each and every day. And I've made a number of pivots along the journey, from being a process engineer to being a computer engineer to being a consultant. And this country, like living in New York, Jersey City at the time where I was living previously, just recognizing that there's abundance, there's magic, there's time, there's so much that's accessible here, that if I were living in Kerala, India, where my parents grew up, there would be no way I'd have access to any of it at all. So I'm beyond grateful for it all, and including the heart that I was blessed to have.
Joseph, we're grateful for you, for all that you bring, and for that beautiful share, brother. So happy Thankful Thursday, and thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
Awesome. Sean, we also have, we got all the J's coming up. We got Joe Coburn and Jonathan Nieto.
Didn't you have somebody right before that, though, Fernando? You said in the beginning there was a 1, 2, 3. Who was the third person?
I'm not sure. They're no longer on the docket.
Got it. Okay, so let's
And
go.
it's real quick, it is 8:54, just to give you a time check.
Okay, yeah, so let's go. Quick share, Jonathan, please.
Hey, Sean, good morning.
Good morning.
So even though at the time that I was going through it, I could not see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it caused me tremendous amounts of pain and mental anguish. I look back today, and I'm actually grateful for my divorce, because had it not happened, I would have never grown personally. I think I would have been in a state of complacency. I would have never gotten out of my comfort zone. I think personally, there's times where you kind of got to take a step back to really look at the full picture. And now that I look back in retrospect, I realize, how much I've gained from that major loss in my life. It hurts because of my kids. Obviously, there's pain around that, but the fact that that happened led me to the relentless search for finding the best version of myself, for creating more impact in the lives of others, because now I come from a different place of understanding, and to be able to grow just at a very different level, to be just a very different person. I would have been such a different person. It wouldn't have led me to anything other than being complacent the way I see it. And I wouldn't have grown there, period. So I'm grateful for that one. I'm grateful for all the past failed relationships that led me to the perfect one. That led me to also the people that I'm surrounded with daily. Not just here in this group, but also, the people that I surround myself with. It's just allowed me to grow at a very different level. Had I not gone through that experience, I don't think I would be in the same position I am today.
Awesome. Well, Jonathan, appreciate you, brother, very much. And we're gonna get to Joe quickly. What song, though, Jonathan? You picked the takeout song today. What do you want to go out with today?
Oh, that's a toughie. Let's do You know what? How about some Michael Jackson? Whenever you hear Michael Jackson, let's put Beat It. My kids love that song.
Jonathan going a little old school. Awesome. Love it. Joe, quick 60 seconds on your, what are you grateful for?
Hey, thank you, Sean. The shares have been beautiful. 2014, it was the Monday before Thanksgiving, and I woke up to find my brother dead in my house from a drug overdose.
Oh my God.
And I am incredibly grateful for being the person that was there for my family. I know all things work for good. I know the lessons from that have put me exactly where I am today. Through every struggle, we grow. That moment, I knew what impact I wanted to have on the world. I knew the medical system failed him. I was able to see past what was in that moment to what could be and the impact I needed to have in the world.
Joe, heart goes out. Immense gratitude for you, and immense gratitude for all of you here. Every single challenge that we have, in hindsight, we could reframe in a way, and I don't say that lightly. My uncle was tragically killed in a truck accident in 1998, and he was 52 years old and the precipice of, I mean, massively successful retina surgeon, on the precipice of curing or stepping into the frame of curing the disease that I have and saving eyesight of poor people in Africa. Like, this entire mission was being created. It's really hard to see how that was a cause for good. But the lessons, the inspirations, the power of his life, perhaps, and many other things are magnified because of that tragedy and all the lives impacted. So gratitude is possible. It drives us forward. It's the fuel and the energy for us to be in gratitude in the face of whatever friction we're facing our self-mastery. Immensely grateful. And let's go out to Beat It for Jonathan, and love you guys. Going to Clubhouse. We'll be in a little bit of a different energy over there as we're going to rock and roll and ecosystem merge. Be there with your ecosystem partners. Love you guys, and thank you. And tonight, we're going to rock it. So thank you.